this is Reverend Don Lewis, and welcome to the greatest ever Pagan Super Show Extravaganza. And with me is my co-host, Reverend Mary Hawk,
Hello.
and our guest, Tish Owen. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
And how are you this evening?
I'm quite well. How are y'all?
We are good.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you for joining us.
My pleasure, absolutely.
And you do the Pagan Unity Festival. And
I
would you like to talk about that?
I do the Pagan Unity Festival. So Pagan Unity Festival is a 4-day camping event in the woods in Middle Tennessee, and we have workshops and workshops, rituals, meals, dancing bonfires, not dancing bonfires, but dancing, bonfires. And then we have meditation, we have children's activities, we have music and drumming, and in the last couple of years, we've had strolling minstrels that stroll all around the area and just play music in the background. So it's fun, and we love our campsite. We are at Chickasaw State Park in, it's between Nashville and Jackson, and it is a private campgrounds that belong to the state park. So there's cabins and there's beds and there's air conditioning in the cabins, which is a huge benefit for people like me that can't stand the heat. There's a lake. I can't tell you how big it is, but it's big enough that you can paddle a canoe across it. And there's a swimming area, and if you get really hot, we'll go down to the lake, and we can tell people to jump into the lake. So that worked out really well.
I always enjoy camping much more when there's air conditioning.
So do I. So do I. Absolutely. I cannot deal with it. Like the main hall and the kitchen, thank God that it's air conditioned as well. So it's really, we only had one day that was really hot this year, and that was Saturday. The weather was kind of sort of cooperative. It wasn't too bad. I actually slept in a tent because we got a tent that attaches the back of our van, because when I go to bed, I need to go to bed. I need at least 5 hours. I really, really must have at least 5 hours. So I don't need people tracking in and out of the, cabin and waking me up and whatever. But I had to have a blanket. It was cool enough at night that I needed a light blanket. So
Cool.
it was very nice. And I could hear all the animals and birds and whatever. So it was good. I liked it. I love it. It's in the middle of 15,000 acres, which is a lot. If you can measure that out, that's a lot. So, but we had a great time, and we had on Saturday when it was really hot, I force fed pickle juice to people. So I have like little ramekins, like you get sauce from the restaurant, and we fill them up with pickle juice, drive around the golf cart and go, you have to drink this. Why? Because I said so. And if you drink it, you can have a popsicle. So you get a reward for drinking the pickle juice. But we didn't have anybody pass out, so I'm thinking that's a plus, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So we've been at this a while. I think we're pretty good at it. So far, so good. We haven't, hadn't killed anybody, hadn't lost anybody. Nobody's gotten arrested. So we're all, I think we're good. I think we're doing okay.
How long has the Pagan Unity Festival been in existence?
This was our 28th year. Believe it was our 28th year. Yeah. So one time, like a long time ago, but there was a guest. I don't remember who the speaker was. And so she was in her workshop, and she said most pagan festivals don't last more than 5 years. Well, we were on our 5th year. So I had all these people come to me after her class going, oh my God, she said 5 years. Are we okay? Yeah, we're fine. The average, because it's hard work. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of dedicated people who are willing to work their ass off for praise, because that's all you get. And so it's hard. It's hard work. And I can see where a lot of festivals, where they hit like 25 years and they're like, okay, we're done. But I mean, we're still hanging on. I intend to continue until we can't do it anymore. So and we're trying to, we put in there's paperwork being prepared for grants so that we can get some land. That's the goal, is to get land that not just that we can use for Pagan Unity Festival, but that any other people who want whatever festivals and workshops and whatever that people want to use it for, and even if people just want to come out and camp for the weekend. So we're looking for some really specific property, and we're looking for however much money we can get. But there's all kinds of weird grants out there for land. There's like one for, forgot how much it's for, but if you put 2 acres of your land in milkweed and classify it as a monarch butterfly sanctuary, you get grant money for that. So we're just applying for
That's
all
cool.
these. Isn't that great? I mean, that's kind of cool. But we're applying
That's
for
a
all these kinds
pagan
of.
sort of a thing to
It's a
do.
kind of a pagan sort of a
Yeah.
thing for real. Yeah. Let's save the butterflies. So any of those things that pertain to getting a piece of land. So that we got, we've like hired somebody who does it professionally, and uh, they get a piece of the action. So that's what we're focusing on, and we're doing a fundraiser on the 26th, 27th, the last Sunday of July at the Mason Lodge at 14th and Eastland in Nashville. And it's a dessert. We're going to have games all day and just play all kinds of different crazy games, up to and including exploding kittens, which sounds quite horrific. And it's $10, and so that money, somebody said, oh, so does that go to like a pad for Puff, because festivals don't make money. I don't care what anybody tells you. If they do, somebody needs to tell me how it happens, because I don't understand it. Apparently, I don't understand the math. But so is this going to be for Puff or for the land fund? And I thought, I don't think we can make enough brownies to buy land. I don't think that's a great idea, but I don't think that's going to happen. We could do 500 car washes. I don't think we could sell everything in the world we could possibly sell for fundraisers. I don't think that's going to happen, because I feel like we probably need $1 million to
You're
make
probably
this.
right.
I'm trying to be conservative in my estimates, but
Hmm.
I would
that's
agree with you. I
yeah,
think a reasonable parcel of land in Tennessee, where I also live, is
right.
to cost in the neighborhood of $1 million.
Well, if you add infrastructure, it's got a park. If we could buy a
Hmm.
camp that's already established, or a trailer park, or whatever, but it's got a perk. There's got to be water. There's got to be electricity, and for us, there has to be some sort of ability to have cabins, because we've
Hmm.
had cabins for, so what did I say, 28 years. So for 26 years, we've had cabins.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't expect people to go, I'm sorry, we can't anymore. You just have to bring a tent. Because I mean,
Well,
I like to camp. I like to have, like bougie camp, right?
I am also past my Girl Scout days.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I need a bathroom, and I need to be able to sleep. But the Girl Scout camp here, and is it Cumberland Girl Scout camp? Anyway, they have raised platforms that they've built, that they've got all over their
oh.
camp, and then they put tents on top of it. So in the wintertime, they just take the tents down.
Hmm.
But they're raised, so they're off the ground. They're not bumpy. They're pretty comfortable. And I mean, even if you could figure out something like that, but I looked at cob building. I've looked at buying trailers. I've looked at, my husband is particularly fond of straw bale construction. So all those things that's just going to take money. That's all. It's just going to, and people who are willing to put some sweat equity into it. But it's
People
doable.
often underestimate the amount of money it takes to do these things.
I'm not underestimating.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
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 And we certainly wish you luck. And
Thank you. Thank you.
it's certainly possible to do, but
I believe it is.
it'll take lots of work.
I believe that it's possible. I just we just got to get things rolling, and so quit screwing around with bake sales, and like hire somebody that can write grants and knows what they're doing. And she went to school to learn how to do this, and
Yeah,
so going to use her expertise, right?
absolutely.
But I'm willing to donate the odd pan of brownies.
And I'm willing to accept those brownies. So thank you.
Brownies help too.
I never turn down brownies. Are you kidding?
Okay.
So, how did you get started with the Pagan Unity Festival?
I think I had some kind of break with reality. So, back in the day, so this is back in 90, 91, somewhere in there. And I
Hmm.
thought, oh, you're reading about, oh, this festival here and all the pagans, and isn't it wonderful? And then I went to it was three different covens in Nashville. And there were, back in the day, there were three big covens in Nashville. When I say big, 30, 40 people, right?
Hmm.
And we decided we would have a camping event at a park. I can't even tell you for my life where it was. But we had a big pavilion and we had tents and we did whatever. And we just had like a bonfire and we didn't do class. We didn't do anything that was, formal. Everybody brought food and we had a big meal and we chanted and we sang around the bonfire and we all went to bed kind of drunk. And I just woke up the next morning. I thought, oh my God, that was so amazing. That energy was so amazing. It was just awesome. And then at that time, so I'll give you a little history. At that time, there were a lot of groups, little groups, and there was a lot of really ugly infighting. The whole witch war thing back in the 90s, which was
Oh yeah,
just stupidest thing that we ever did.
I
And so
totally
we
agree.
we decided that it would be a great idea if we did a huge ritual and we made peace between all the groups. And so we did that, and we called our gods, and we said, we stood in front of our gods and said, "This is what we're going to do. I have peace with you, and if I have a problem, I'm going to come to you. And there's not more backstabbing. There's none of that." So we stood in ritual and spoke those things right into existence,
Hmm.
and then it got real calm in Nashville, which was good. And then I
Yeah.
thought, well, let's do a bigger festival. So there's no
Hmm.
place to have it because everything costs money, and you ain't got no money, right? And so there was a park in Clarksville, which is not terribly far from Nashville. It's like 40 minutes or so. And it was a private property, and then I think they sold it to the city and the Rotary Park. Anyway, it was a whole bunch of stuff, and then eventually the city of Clarksville owned it. And they said, "Sure, we'll rent it to you." And I said, "Well, it's a bunch of pagans," and they're like, "Oh, okay, we don't care." Well, they didn't care at the time, and so it was a day camp, and we went up and we had a day festival, and we
Hmm.
cooked and we had brought food and everybody had a good time. And then it got dark and there's no electricity on that side, or there wasn't even in the bathrooms. And so we all went home, but we had a great time. We had built a labyrinth. Okash and Thorn, which was one of the big covens, they built a labyrinth, and it was lovely. It was a lovely, lovely. I could not have asked for a better day. We went $4 in the hole. Okay, so that's
Oh
that's not
wow.
that's not horrible, right? For a first timer,
No.
that was not horrible. And so then the next year we thought, well, let's spread it out a little bit and we'll spend the night. So we talked to them and they said, sure, it's okay. And we bought tents and whatever. Well, somebody found out that we were there and so we had people like come up and protest, and finally the city of Clarksville sent some cops to go, y'all need to go away. Leave these people alone. So that was interesting. That was my first introduction to, we don't like you because you're pagan.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because, okay. Uh, and so we spent the night, and the bathroom. It wasn't a bathhouse. It was a bathroom. And it had two stalls, and the wall went like three-quarters of the way up, right?
Hmm.
You couldn't see over, but there was a ledge. So we roasted pigs. If you've never done that, it's quite spectacular to do. And the heads were removed, as you do. Well, some tricksters in the bunch
Oh
decided to steal
no.
the pig heads. Oh yes, and place them in various places all over the camp. Oh, it was hilarious. So I go into the bathroom. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we've had a candle up on that little wall. So I go in. I'm sitting there, and I look up, and there's a smiling pig head looking at me from the top of the wall. I'm like, okay, y'all funny. So
All right.
we decided then we needed to like maybe spend a couple of nights, and we ended up at Montgomery Bell, and that was good for a long time. And then the Nazis came, and then we wasn't good anymore. And we went to Henry Horton for a couple of years, and that was okay as an interim. Pardon me. And that was right after COVID,
Hmm.
and things were weird anyway. And so finally, we've landed at Chickasaw, which I feel like, I mean, it's a far drive. It's 2 hours from Nashville, but it meets our needs, I think, wonderfully. So if they only had a
Good.
hotel there on the site, it would be perfect, but they don't. But I mean, I can't complain. I thought everything went really well this year. I was really happy with the workshops. Byron Ballard was our speaker. Jason Mankey, whom I absolutely am madly in love with, and Ken Hooker. And so he was, I mean, we did a thing for that fundraiser back in the fall, and it was called Healing Haven. And we spent a weekend and we had, you know, like sound bowls and all that kind of stuff. And it was really, really fun. And he was there and he said, I'd like to be a guest speaker. And look, I wrote this book. I'm like, okay. So anyway, we had them, and those were our speakers. And we had close to 30 workshops because we just shoehorn them in as hard as we can go, right? So and hopefully there's something for everybody. We have had a couple of requests for, please, we'd like some heathens. Oh well, they're here. I guess I could see if they could do a workshop for you. So
when is the next Pagan Unity Gathering?
it is next June. It is June 10th through the 13th, 2027, at Chickasaw State Park in beautiful Toone, Tennessee. It also is like, it either says Henderson or Toone. I think they're like this close together. They're not. Neither one of them are really towns, as far as I can tell. But anyway, so that.
And
but
if
we
people
also
wanted to register for that or to learn more about it, where would you send them?
I would send them to www. There's 3 W's, right? PaganUnityFest, FEST.org. And there's information up. We don't have workshops and stuff, but there's where it is and how it is. And right now we're running an early bird special. If you want to get tickets, they'll be at this year's prices, because it will go up for next year, because unfortunately inflation gets us all. We try to keep our prices down, but we have to jack them up a little bit, because as I said, pagan festivals don't make money. I was laughing with Belladonna Laveau about that. That they don't make money, but we have to at least break even, because otherwise we can't go on.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
A lot of people don't realize either the amount of work or the amount of money that is necessary just to make them happen.
Exactly.
And you have to offset all of that. And there are people out there who think everything should be for free, but everything isn't for free. It doesn't do itself for free.
No.
If I was a millionaire, I'd do it for free. If I was a millionaire, I'd do it for free, but I can't.
Yes.
Everything costs money. Website.
Yeah, everything does. It's money.
Everything for the food,
which is our biggest expenditure. Because you try and feed 300 people and tell me what that costs.
Yeah, because it's quite a thing.
And we're very careful. We budget. Like I look up, like I've learned how to do. You Google chicken quarters near me best price, and then it will tell you all the places, and then you make your list, and then you send off to the And so we're very frugal, but we also want to make sure that we are giving the best that we can give as well, right? So
absolutely.
We don't cut corners.
I'm
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a wonderful festival.
Thank you. And I've had people say, "Well, could we do this for food, and could we do that for food?" And I said, we could have the most wonderful festival in the world. We could resurrect Buckland from the dead and have him speak. We could be the most incredible. There'd be fairies, all the rest of it. But if the food is bad, that's all people are going to remember.
Yes.
And that's the absolute truth. There's no way around that. You've got to feed them, and you've got to feed them good no matter what else you do for them. But we have vendors, and we have really grand merchandise. So that's always, since we have a shopping, little shopping mall that we set up and all the rest of it. So we try to make sure there's something for everybody. And if you come away disappointed, I would like to know why. I'd like to know, what else did you expect for your first festival? Because I remember the very first ritual that I ever went to, the pagan ritual that I ever went to, and I cried all the way home because I was so disappointed.
Oh.
So I don't want anybody to walk away from Puff feeling that way.
Yeah.
I go out of my way to make sure that we give you everything that you need, or we try. This year we had a masquerade ball, and apparently It was the greatest thing we've ever done. Everything we've ever done, but that was. So
That's
now
great.
there has to be one next year. So we just have to have masquerade ball. So
Well, now
And
you
I believe that you have a fundraiser coming up.
I do. It is the last Sunday of the month, which I think is the 26th. I think I'm right, of July, and it is a game. What do we call it? Midday game cafe. Okay, so anyway, the Mason Lodge is where we rent space from them, and they've been very accommodating. And we're going to have 4 different kinds of desserts, maybe 5. Dave gets a little wound up about stuff. About I think I can do this. Okay, and all kinds of games. So everything from like chess to checkers to backgammon to Uno, like everything, like a table set up with all the different games. So you just come in and game and play and hang out and have dessert and drink coffee and or iced tea or whatever, and kind of hang out with a bunch of nerds because not enough places for nerds. And it's $10, and you can come in and stay and play as long as you want to. So we'll see how that. I'm kind of excited about it.
Yes, indeed.
It,
okay?
it seemed like a good idea at the time, right?
Absolutely.
I hope it's very successful.
I hope that it is.
That's
I create.
cool.
Do what?
I was mispronouncing successful.
Oh, okay. Well, I will create and manifest that it will be successful. So
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you had mentioned everyone getting together the last day of PUP
right.
and coming to a decision.
Well, right before we went to Puff, in June, early June, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Department of Defense, Pete Hegseth specifically, decided that we're just going to cut all these religions off the list of approved religions and approved clergy and ministers and all the rest of it. And I don't remember the exact number, but I think it went from like 130 down to like 30. We were one of those pagans, all the pagans. Um,
Yes.
the Unitarians, a lot of the Native Americans. I mean, a whole lot of people got the axe, and it felt like a purge because that's what it is.
Mhm.
And so we talked about what can we do about this. Well, let's have a meeting. And so on Sunday morning, we're drinking our coffee and trying to decamp. And we had an excellent meeting. I bet there was probably 40 people there that put in their 2 cents worth, and some had little churches, and some were like had been ordained, and Byron was there, Jason was there, Ken Hooker. We were all like talking about what can we do, what is a viable thing to let people know that to let not Hegseth because he doesn't care, but to let our Congress people and our senators know that we are not happy with this. This is against freedom of religion. This goes to the First Amendment, for God's sake. And what can we do? And so we talked about that. And I mean, it most definitely is, to write letters, to postcards are wonderful. Get a pack of postcards that are pre-stamped, put them in your pocket, and every time you see something, write it and put it in the mail right now, because they pay more attention to paper.
Mhm.
Even though all communication with your senator, with your elected officials, is recorded in some way, they pay more attention if you deluge them with paper.
Mhm.
So it's always been true. It continues to be true. But so all those things, download the 5 calls a day, which is a very easy app to download. It tells you what the problems are. It gives you a script, tells you which one of your representatives to call about it. It takes 5 minutes literally to do. It's the easiest thing in the world. There's also 50409. I'm not sure if that's right, but I'll get you the link for it. But it's to do fax and to do text, and it does it for you. And you just a lot of these things have a script that you can either adhere to or you can write your own. We try and say, please don't be profane if at all possible. Try and be reasonable with how pissed off you really are. So all of
Mhm.
those things, and then someone suggested we need a website. We need a website that's a clearinghouse where all of these problems, where people get to vent their problems, where people get to post what's going on, and so had Elizabeth create one. So we have a website and we have a Facebook group, which is Pagan Unity Press. And we have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. So if you have something to say, please, that's the place to say it. If you have a testimonial, if your church are like, we're talking like, y'all could give us a statement that we put on the website so that people know what's going on. We need a clearinghouse. We don't have a central, we used to have a place where we had a central clearinghouse for all things pagan. We don't have that anymore. And so we need it because we need to know where we need to know where things are. We need to know where our bread is buttered, if you will. And so to have a place where we can look at, where we can talk to, where the news of the day, and this is what's affecting pagans, and this is what's going on, where we know, where we're aware, so that we're just not walking around blindsided by this craziness that's going on. So that we just put it
There's
together.
no
So,
reason any of us should be blindsided by it because some of
well,
us
no,
have been talking about it for 20 years while it was building.
bingo. But you know what, Don? Not everybody is. People got groceries to buy and dogs to take care of, and their mom and them.
And there were also pagan leaders running around saying, "Don't worry about this; they're just fear mongering."
It's
And
not
now that it's almost too late to do anything,
right.
people are finally willing to do something, and hopefully it's not too late.
Been
But
saying it for a while, and
let's
you've been
not
saying
say
it for a
that
while.
nobody saw it coming.
No, I'm not saying that nobody saw it coming. I didn't say that, but a lot of people are blindsided and don't understand. Like I posted some things, and people are like, "Well, what's going on? Do you not know? Do you not watch the? Never mind. Here, let me tell you." So to have a place,
Exactly.
exactly, to have a place where, just like when Ed was saying that the Congress people that he had talked to, they didn't know about it. I'm gonna call foul on that. I don't believe it. But
Yeah,
to not
no, it's not
know,
possible anyone in Congress would not know about this.
I agree. I think that's just an absolute abject lie. But it comes down to, oh my God, our politicians are lying to us. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm so
I can
surprised.
believe they lied about it.
Oh, really? They lied to us? Oh my God. Unbelievable. So yeah, so
Yeah.
we got to take care of business, and right now the business of pagans is, it's not just the business of pagans, because there's a guy in Tennessee running for governor. His name is
Mhm.
Monty Fritz, and
Yep.
Monty wants to get rid of all religions, all those
Mhm.
pagan religions. He wants to get rid of the Buddhists, and he wants to get rid of the Hindus and all those other pagan religions.
Mhm.
And this man is dangerous, and he's dangerous to you and to me and to all God's
Yeah.
little children. But he also is dangerous to women. He firmly believes that any woman that has an abortion should get the death penalty.
Mhm.
He also believes that any parents who allow their children to have any kind of transgender anything, that those parents should get the death penalty. And people love him. You should see the comments. He's the way for us. Really?
Yeah.
So if you're not terrified, then
you're not paying attention.
or you've been dropped on your head one too many times. I don't know which. But this is it's about to get ugly. I mean, it's already ugly, but it's about to get uglier.
Yeah. We're very far into this battle. I mean,
Yes, we
it's
are.
not starting; it's almost lost.
No, it's not lost yet. Not lost yet.
No, I said almost,
They
but it is
expect us.
almost.
I'm sorry. I think I spit on the camera. They expect us to roll over and just go, oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Can't fight City Hall, which is always, BS. But I had an interesting conversation with a cousin of mine that I don't really speak to anymore because he's an idiot.
Mhm.
And we're talking about, I don't know how it came up. He's a big Republican. He's a Trumper. And he said something about whatever and guns. And I said, yeah, we got guns. And he looked at me, his little mouth hanging up, his little jaw dropped. You own guns? I said, cousin, you've known me since the day you were born. When
Mhm.
I was 7 and you were 5, our daddies had us in the backyard shooting tin cans out of trees on a Sunday afternoon.
Mhm.
Did you forget that? We own guns. We have quite a lot of guns, as a matter of fact, and hell of a lot of ammunition. And he was absolutely stunned that not only do we have guns, we go to the range, we know how to use them, we have insurance. Okay. So they act like we are, now don't do that. He's a dog. He's like under the tripod. That we're not going to fight back. We're just going to roll over. We're going to be like the Germans in Nazi Germany. We're just going to roll over and
That
let
is
this
what they're
happen.
Mhm.
Well, they're counting on it, and we must not. We must not. This is not Nazi
You're
Germany.
completely right.
The Germans had a whole different mindset. They're very orderly people. They do things the right way. Americans are not. We are a bunch of cowboys. We always have been. So let's act like some cowboys and not, so let's go out and march. So you march, you write letters, you donate money, and we do things like when the National Democratic Party runs somebody like Prater, was that his name? What's his name in Maine? The oyster fisherman? Plattner, thank you. We have to go, no. No, he's not viable. There's too much. He's got too much baggage. Yeah, could he beat what's her name, Collins? Yeah, maybe. Do we want that? No. Do we want him?
No.
No. So let's find somebody else who has no sexual allegations against him, who didn't accidentally get a Nazi symbol tattooed on his body, who has not sent sex text and is not problematic. So we've got, and that's the other thing that we have to stand up for, which they did. I was real proud of the people of Maine.
Yeah.
So, now if it would just translate into the rest of the country.
I think the thing is we need to realize the importance of the situation.
Right.
And not allow ourselves to be distracted by everything else.
And they're trying that. I mean, a lot of what's going on is distract us from Epstein. So let me just say that really loud. Epstein. Okay. And so much of it it's the wag the dog. Did you see the movie 20 years ago? I did.
I did.
And that's what we're living right now. So we can't
I see so many people in the pagan community arguing about this, and they're arguing about that, and they're arguing about the other thing, when the thing they need to be focused on is our civil rights in our country.
Exactly.
Because if we lose that, it doesn't matter what any of those other things are.
No, everything else can just go to hell, and we'll all just have to immigrate somewhere else. No, I agree. No, we've got to. We can argue on philosophy and which gods are better and which pantheons are the best, but we cannot argue on this. We must come together. All pagans have got to be on the same page. And so I'm going to say this, and you might have to edit it out. If you're a pagan and you're voting Republican and you think Trump is the greatest thing since sliced bread, please change your religious affiliation. Okay, so United Front, y'all. That's the only thing that will win this is a united front. Vote, register people to vote, drive people to the polls. Everything we can do. Everything. Okay?
Yeah, it will take everything we can do. And that's exactly what we must do.
We cannot do anything less than that.
Yeah. Thank you. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I hate that I am, but I think I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not a pleasure to be right in this situation.
No, it isn't.
Not in this case, it's not.
If only we had been wrong, we would all be much happier.
I would be delighted. I'd be dancing naked in the streets in the rain. So.
And I would be there to video it.
Yes, you would. And we would dance together. It would be awesome. We'd scare all the neighbors. It'd be great.
So once again, if people want to take part in that project, they can go to Pagan Unity Press at Facebook.
Right. And there is the link for the website is there. So there's a group, there's Pagan Unity Press Facebook page and Facebook group. So the page is where we're posting news and whatever. The group is where you can get up and vent and do whatever. And if you want to write something to put on the website, we are more than happy to let you have it posted anonymously if you want to. We have a lot of military and former military in the pagan world. There's a lot of
We do.
us.
Yes.
I don't know that people understand how many of us there really are. So, and they're all unhappy, and I've reached out to all of them. So, I did a lot of things this morning. I was laughing because Elizabeth said, "Okay, you've done this and this and this." I said, "I haven't even had breakfast yet. So wait till after I have breakfast. See what I do after that, because it's going to be monumental." So
Yes, indeed.
we've got to talk to each other. We've got to keep the lines of communication. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if I don't like you. I don't care as long as I think that you are, at least that you have ethics and that you're honorable, and then I'll deal with you. I might not like you. I might think you're arrogant. You might think the same thing about me. It doesn't matter. We must come together. We must come together no matter what. It's a moral imperative. It really, really is. So let's do this thing, y'all.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was my absolute pleasure.
And if you're watching, go to the various sites that have been talked about during the program. And if you're in the area, go to the fundraiser on Sunday.
Please do.
And thank you, Tish, for joining us.
It was my pleasure. Y'all have a great evening. And I smell my banana bread. I think I need to go take it out of the oven.
Very cool.
Right.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely night. Blessed be.
Rev Don's Book of Stones, Metals, and Crystals. Everything you always wanted to know about the magical and spiritual properties of stones, metals, and crystals in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com. Rev Don's Book of Astrology. Everything you always wanted to know about the stars in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com.